the government introduced the last budget it will have before the next general election. It was a budget that failed to address all the key issues that our people are facing. A cost of living crisis where their wages have been frozen to the extent they're still below the levels in 2008. Price rises in food and energy, and increased charges for mortgages and rent. There was nothing in this budget that helped people struggling in this cost of living crisis. The Chancellor brought forward a 2p cut in national insurance, but that's taken away by the freezing of the tax thresholds. There was nothing in this budget that demonstrated that there'll be sufficient funds for the National Health Service to reduce the waiting list of 7.5 million people waiting to be treated. There's nothing in this budget which will give the funds that the schools need to recruit and retain the teachers that our children need. And there was certainly nothing to tackle the levels of poverty that we now have after 14 years of austerity. 14 million people living in poverty, 4 million children. There are now 4 million classified as destitute, and that includes 1 million children. In addition to that, there was nothing to tackle the housing crisis that we face. The only mention in housing was to give another benefit to landlords. So more people will be sleeping on our streets. There was a 27% increase in homelessness last year. And there'll be more children next Christmas, just as the last one, living in temporary accommodation without a secure home of their own. We desperately need a Labour government now, but we need a Labour government that's committed to funding our public services through, yes, a fair taxation system, and making sure that we invest in our economy through our Green New Deal to ensure that there is growth, but it's sustainable environmental growth, and that enables people to go back to work on decent wages, properly represented by trade unions with their full rights. That's the campaign now, to secure a Labour manifesto that will take us into the next election, and a Labour government that is willing to tackle the key issues our people face.